grab the initiative right from the go. Yeah, it's a
Then
very
you
tough
want to.
spot.
I think you want to grab it from
And
the
we
get-go.
have action and b3, b6, e4 on the board.
Oh, wow.
There is the handshake and g3. So,
and this is the prep. This is the prep that Hikaru had.
That's the prep. Amazing. Yeah, that they are sensing already how the opponent will react. It's kind of logical also.
It's beautiful to be that strong.
And f4.
Yes. That answers your question, right, Peter?
Yeah, actually also very important. Jan starts with 30 minutes. So basically actually only 2 minutes handicap. But I think in Fischer Random, it's not only the minutes, but playing with the black pieces, it's scary.
Yeah, it's scary, but you also don't want to leave yourself too low on time. I don't know. I feel that this Armageddon, as opposed to most Armageddons, favors white more than usual.
I think so. Yeah, I also have this feeling that, but it also shows that then what Hikaru was basically looking forward to play with the white pieces. Yeah, he wasn't really trying to bid desperately to be black.
I don't think you should. This is a whoa. Pawn takes f5 tactics. Hello.
Wow, this has to be preparation because Hikaru blitzed it out. I mean, you're definitely not gonna make a move e takes f5 unless you have checked it.
And how's this go? E takes f5, bishop a1, bishop a8 is not an issue.
Wow, computer loves it, and okay, basically that's the impact of Wesley.
There you go. And
Bishop
then queen
takes h1.
Do you play queen takes a5 and just say this is a nice endgame?
Could easily be, yeah, and then target the f5 pawn.
Target the f5 pawn, yeah. I understand opposite color bishops, but we're so far from an actual opposite color bishop endgame.
Yeah,
he's taking his time. He's deciding.
Queen takes e5 looks very tempting.
Yes. Queen takes,
bishop takes, and then g takes f5.
Yeah.
Has to be played, and then the knight jumps out to e3, but black has
knight g6. Yeah, knight g6 and then f4 is probably what's stopping
the bishop. Yeah, it's not that simple then. Yeah, I mean, why is the evaluation bar claiming such a clear advantage for white?
I'm not so sure yet.
But on the other hand, it's clear that what we have seen so far is kind of prep, but the players didn't have much time. Yeah, so basically one felt like this is kind of comfortable and okay, you have to live with that.
Yeah, this is as good as it gets.
Yeah, the only question, because we know that draw helps black. So even if it's a nice endgame, but white can't really avoid the endgame, because even if we take with the bishop, then d6 can come.
Yeah, I think he has to. I mean, queen e5 just seems so much more tempting than bishop takes e5. Bishop takes e5, g takes f5, and you still have to worry about d6. You have to worry about bishop e4. Yeah, I like taking with the queen.
So takes, and then gf5, and this is a critical moment that how can white utilize? No, Hikaru takes with the bishop.
Okay.
Disagrees with us.
And with the engine evaluation, apparently.
Well, still, the engine actually still gives some advantage.
That's true.
But yeah, Jan is looking for knight g6. There is a 1 minute deficit. So basically, Jan already got 1 minute back.
At least he has that going for him, right?
Yeah, but the big question, yeah, Hikaru goes now, bishop c6, sidestepping this knight g6 tempo. And the big question is, how will black defend the pawn on f5? Bishop c6 played.
It's
but
a position...
wow, hang on, now white can sidestep the queen trade.
Yeah, knight e3, right?
Knight e3 played. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm biased because I know that the black only needs a draw, but not trading the queens is a surprise.
To me too.
Queen h5, queen f2.
Yeah, to me too, because you also run the danger that not only are you losing the pawn, but knight e2, knight f4, somehow white's queen seems to be under less pressure than black's.
But knight h6, I missed this move. Yeah, Jan is protecting the pawn. He is hinting at eventual knight g4, and okay, there are some chances for black to neutralize the pressure. Having said that, maybe knight e2, knight f4 is coming.
Yeah, knight e2, because knight g4, I can even take on f5, and again,
you probably can take on f5. Yeah, it's dangerous. Yeah, wow. Okay. Not out of the woods yet, but we do see the evaluation bar giving advantage for white, but black is still in the game.
Yeah, it's not a huge advantage. It's a slight advantage here for white. You can kind of tell because of the structure, but a lot to be defined in the next few moves. The knight coming to g4, trying to simplify. Black has a couple of easy moves ahead of him. King b7, knight e6, try to consolidate his position, get rid of the weakness on f5. And if he's able to do that, he'll be in a clear-cut goal towards the world championship, just trade pieces. But for the time being, Hikaru has the timing to try to blockade the pawn, try to actually maybe even take the pawn. And knight e2 already on the board.
Yeah, knight e2 played. It's very logical to bring that knight out. Knight f4 is coming with a tempo, blocking the pawn. And we should mention, of course, the time control, that the players will not get any seconds. This is an Armageddon game.
Yeah.
You play with what you got. Yeah, Hikaru with 15 minutes, Jan with 13. We see that the clock situation more or less already leveled out, but Hikaru has the advantage on the board. How much we don't know exactly, but certainly it's a pleasant position.
I like the way that Jan has played the last few moves. Knight e6, and he's tactically defending f5 instead of tying his pieces down. He's taking advantage of the fact that h2 is also threatened. The move king b7 is super logical. The king is very happy on this square. You never have to worry about any kinds of tactics against it. And again, d4.
What
boom,
on earth is this? Weakening the e4 square.
What?
It's a desperate move.
It's an I need to win this kind of move, right? Yes. I need to win this.
Otherwise, it would never ever been played. Oh my god, yeah. Knight g4 played immediately because
I like knight g4 a lot.
Yeah, you remove the knight which covers the d5 square. I think that Hikaru will be in a state of shock blundering knight g4.
Yeah, this is like the worst timing for it, right? For the white side.
Absolutely. I mean, okay, any knight takes g4, f takes g4 is the total catastrophe for white. You will never generate any winning chances. Queen takes f5 is the critical move, but
even queen takes f5, knight takes f5, knight h2. Why is white better?
Looks good enough for black, yeah.
Yeah.
And there might be even something more. I don't know, even moves like queen h6 are super tempting. Queen f5
queen
on the
f5
board, yeah, just goes for the endgame.
And I think you were right, because I saw the engine spike and spike back after queen takes f5, recapturing queen takes f5. So probably there was something even stronger for Jan, but he knows that this is a practical game, that this is an Armageddon, and that a draw is good enough. He decides to go into an endgame where he's probably slightly better. And with the opposite colored bishops, he decides, let's just go into this. I can hold this endgame.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, first of all, he doesn't need to hold. Yeah, he can. It almost looks like a risk-free pressure, and he still has 10 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, he's doing great.
Yeah, what a turn of events. I mean, it looked like after move 7 that Hikaru will be able to squeeze this position forever, risk-free and play quickly, and it might be very unpleasant. And all of a sudden, what a turnaround. Black is just completely safe.
But I think that's the problem with Armageddon's, right? There's no such thing as risk-free, because anytime you make a draw, you lose.
That's true, of course. And okay, bishop e4. I don't think that Jan is playing the most ambitious way, but he doesn't need to be ambitious.
Yeah, why be ambitious when a draw is just as good as a win? D5, maybe a symptom, knight g5 kind of plays
knight
itself.
Knight g5, yeah, covering the f3 square, protecting the bishop on e4.
Yeah, rook's coming to f2 too. This is very annoying, actually.
Yeah, knight f4 had to be played.
And maybe simple chess, no? Something like rook b8.
I mean, the good news for Hikaru is that at least he more or less stabilized the situation. But I mean, stabilizing in a game where you have to win, it's not an ideal scenario.
Yeah, there we go. Rook b8, just bring everybody to the center. And this is what we've talked about in many positions, is how easy is it to play for one side or the other?
Yeah, now king b2 had to be played. Now the rooks are connected. But the point, yeah, bishop f3 played. The situation is that in Fischer random, and that's why we were speculating that it's kind of tricky to be black, because there are so many dangers, and all of a sudden this is like a normal chess. It's just a lovely position for black.
Yeah, it's normal chess, and this is the greatest danger of Fischer random positions, where you get an unpleasant position that's just chess. And that's exactly what we have right now.
Yeah, now after d6, the big question, of course, very tempting to simply ignore that pawn and play c5, but then Hikaru will get some knight jumping to d5, eventually going for e7 square. We see c6, knight c4. Yeah, Hikaru is fighting rook e7, knight e5, some ideas there. Knight e4 blocking the e-file. And then Jan is probably trying to bring that knight back. Yeah, so knight e5 been played.
Keeps his chances.
What kind of bizarre pieces are these? Yeah, it doesn't feel like a solid endgame.
Yeah, somehow he's threatening the pawn on d7, which I didn't think was possible 3 moves ago. Knight e5, not so trivial to defend against this.
Yeah, actually, I'm really not liking the way how Jan handled this. I mean, it looked like it was such a total control, and Hikaru managed to bring some life into this position.
Yeah, maybe you just have to play king c8, say this pawn on d7 needs to be defended kind of passively, and pass the turn.
But I mean, also we have some really awkward pieces with black. Yeah, knight on h2, bishop on f3, like the pieces are a little bit overloaded. Yeah, any kind of rookies, these are possible. And the other problem is that actually now the position forces Jan to spend time, and this is a very dangerous situation. He takes pawn c3 and the evaluation bar jumps.
That was a concession for sure.
Yeah, no, this is terrible.
All the stabilizing opposite color bishop endgames are gone. And now you at least have the material imbalance that Hikaru can look forward to.
Yeah, the very powerful knights. Yeah, rook e3 is played. I mean, wow. From a seemingly hopeless position to win, Hikaru got serious chances.
Yeah, the knights are beautiful. I mean, the dark squares are completely under white's control. And how do you get rid of
and this knight on h2 is still trapped
maybe you need to play knight f3 right now, right?
Yeah, but even that doesn't guarantee any safety. Hang on, knight f3, knight takes g4.
It definitely does not guarantee safety.
Okay, h5, but look at the evaluation bar. Yeah, nothing is safe anymore.
Rook e1, yeah, you're not on time.
B1 to e1.
You're just not on time anymore. You can't play knight f3. This is super dangerous for Jan now.
Yeah, it's dangerous, it's bad, it's a total catastrophe. I mean, also like 2 minutes before, if you ask him, he will tell you, I can't lose this position even if I want, and then that's it. What you get.
Yeah, totally agree. This went off the rails super quickly. Knight g4, huge threat, so I think you have to move the bishop. But where?
But even where to move it?
Yeah, because bishop f5, knight takes h5 is just not only just a pawn, but you continue threats.
Yeah, what a position. Now the pawn on d6 is a monster, knight on e5 is a monster, knight on f4 beautifully protected, rooks are doubled, and black is in a very confusing spot.
I don't even see a move.
Shocking development. But this is often the case. There is so much nerves at stake in this Armageddon. It's never just chess.
Never.
It's probably everything else but chess. Yeah, the Armageddons.
Yeah, in some ways it's like a battle of stamina, a battle of wits, a battle of psychology. There is some chess, of course, some chess ability, but the chess level drops so dramatically in this Armageddons that it tends up to be a battle of everything else, as you said.
Yeah, and all the dramas, but for the moment, I mean, black is just in a horrible situation. Maybe you even have to move the rook from e8 to d8, giving up the e5 completely. But this knight might be trapped, yeah? Just rook h1.
Yeah, rook d8, rook h1 might just lose. Whoa!
Yeah, so rook e5, knight f3, but rook e8, is that a move?
I don't...
Yeah, rook e8, rook f6, probably this is what Jan is trying, then rely on some h4 counterplay.
You can even play rook d1, right? But maybe h4, yeah. Then maybe h4, huh?
Yeah, basically I would even say that it's because the position looks so bad, it's kind of trying to create some confusion, but h4 will be met by rook g8.
I kind of like this as the best option that black has.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise it was practically lost, but knowing rook Hikaru, H1. Yeah, he's so sharp, rook h1.
Maybe h4 anyway?
Yeah, and then rook g8. This is a key move.
Yeah.
Yeah, h4 and then rook g8 hitting the bishop, and now Jan takes on d6, but this should be technically lost.
Yeah, it is an exchange after all. It doesn't even have a pawn for it. I don't see any issue with taking on h5, rook h6
Okay,
maybe.
rook h6 then.
Rook h6.
Yeah,
So he
rook
starts
g8.
with rook g8.
Preparing knight takes h5, setting up a trick of rook h6, rook takes g4, using the pin.
Yeah.
Wow, I mean, Hikaru very close of sealing the title.
Hikaru, excellent technique in this kind of position. Let's see if he can finish it off. It's a normal position. He's just up an exchange.
But that's what we also said before for Jan, yeah, that it looked like a normal position and what happened. But
that's the beauty of Armageddon. It's not about the Fischer random anymore. It's about the fact that it's an Armageddon. You got the pressure, you got the time ticking. And rook d2 played knight h5, bishop f5, and it's very quick moves here by both players.
Rook c1, yeah, protecting just in time to protect the c2 pawn, rook h2. So we might be expecting a move like knight f4. Knight g7, wow, what a strange move.
Yeah, even if it's a good move, it's a strange move to play.
But yeah, bishop e4, then he will follow up with knight e8, and he's trying to get the knight to d6 or f6.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm not so sure what it's
Hikaru,
doing
yeah?
Yeah, Hikaru just solves everything tactically. But I still don't understand what the knight's doing on d6. I can always put my king on a6.
Yeah, he wants to harass this bishop. That's his idea.
I think that's the idea, right?
To force it off from this lovely diagonal.
And if I play a move like bishop g6 in this position.
Bishop g6, yeah?
Yeah.
And then with knight e8?
Then knight e5. And pretend that I can holding on to my position like this.
Probably it's the best. I think it's the best what you have. Jan goes bishop e4. We might be seeing knight e8 exactly.
Knight e8 exactly, yeah.
Rook h6 protecting from knight d6 and knight f6, but now the rook from c1 frees itself.
Yeah, rook d1 screaming to be played here.
Okay, rook d1, d5, and then can we try to push d4, c5, create some mess?
You definitely can, but I'm going to start looking at rook g7 check, and then where are you going?
That's cooling things, rook d1, d5, and then check where to go. It's a problem. It's a very big problem.
Yeah. Because you don't want to get stuck
goes rook f8, even insisting on some knight f6 or rook f6. Deadly threat, rook f6 followed by knight d6.
Yeah, and it seems like Jan felt himself forced to play d5 anyway. And this must be an even better version for Hikaru. On the verge, Hikaru, of winning the world championship here in Reykjavik.
Absolutely, yeah. Rook f6 played. Now he's threatening knight d6 as well.
It forces one pair of pieces off the board. It doesn't matter which one, at least one pair of pieces off the board. That's huge progress. And there you go. Check.
And where do you run? Okay, probably you have to run to a king c7, but okay, then the king will be even in mating net.
Yeah, it's completely hopeless here. Rook g6 seems easy enough to me. Just hold on to that pawn.
Just protecting the pawn, yeah?
Just protect the pawn. Yeah,
and if e3, then you go rook e6, and then you are pinning the rook. Or you, I think
or you can go rook g7, king d3, right?
Yeah, that's another, but I mean, this one is good enough. Yeah,
oh, that's horrible. Yeah, that's cruel.
So, okay, black goes rook h2. He tries to keep some life in the position, probably hoping for some c5, knight d4 also eventually.
Yeah, but I like your rook e6 idea here again with rook g2, rook takes e4, rook takes g3, rook e3.
You can even here go rook e6. Yeah,
and he does. Yeah.
Yeah. And the problem is that rook e2 is met by rook h1 activating the rook. And then getting access to black's king.
Yeah. It's funny because rook h1 kind of blunders upon, but you never want to take on c2.
Yeah, I mean, I invite you to,
yeah, I'm very happy to do so, yeah. Yeah, and something like king d7 already, rook g6 is actually mate.
Yeah, it's you're not gonna run away. Otherwise, you have to play some b5, king b6, but rook comes to the 6th rank and we'll start harassing everything.
Yeah, this is over.
Also, with the hand move, how Hikaru played rook h1 signal that he thinks that that's it.
That's it, yeah. He feels it. He feels the world championship in his hand.
Yeah, b5. You had to create luft for the king. And Hikaru very comfortably with 5 minutes 30 seconds. He even plays the move a3.
What a boss move, a3. He could have done really anything else. He just wants to... I don't even know what the move does, to be honest. But he doesn't rush. And that's what I love about it. He doesn't rush. He makes his king safe. He takes the time. And he knows his position is winning. He doesn't have to rush it. He's trying to slowly build the mating net. B4 is coming. And he knows that's going to spell doom.
He's planning b4 and then rook b7. So Jan is running out with his king. But where do you run, yeah?
Yeah.
You can run, but you can't hide, yeah? This is the situation.
Yeah. All right, let's see where the finish is here. I
mean, okay, there are so many finishes, I believe.
There are so many, but let's try to find something clean.
Okay.
Rook e5, king d6, rook g5 maybe. But I feel like I'm just going ring around the rosy here. I'm not actually mating you.
Yeah, one should not get carried away that suddenly actually black has a threat with rook e2.
Yeah.
So yes, because it would be also very tempting to try to play something like rook d7, lock the king, but yeah, it's on the board. Rook d7 and the knight had to move because rook h5 was a deadly threat.
Yeah, rook h5, attacking
the knight. So knight f3, but now b4 check.
Yeah, and on king c6, I just think rook d6 or rook h5.
And king c4, rook h5.
Rook h5, that's it.
H5, that's it.
That's it.
On the board. Rook c5 checkmate is a set, and Jan resigns. Hikaru Nakamura wins the title, becomes Fischer Random World Champion.
Amazing performance by Hikaru, and I have to say, out of all the players, what a performance by Hikaru. He seemed solid, he seemed good, he seemed knowledgeable, and he was playing the openings just much better than Jan in many positions, I felt.
Yeah, on the other hand, then also Jan was putting up some incredible resistance also in Armageddon after the terrible start to the game. Yeah, he managed to turn the tables. He had everything in his own hands. He had 10 minutes on his clock. I mean, if we just go back to this position, what happened after d4, knight g4, takes